Hey Gemini, welcome to Forever Bliss Tarot with Sky. So today we are working on retrograde messages. As you know, that started today, August 4th, ends on August 29th, and Mercury retrograde can bring some communication and technology hiccups that, upset the equilibrium of the Gemini collective. So we just want to get some general messages to see what comes out for Gemini. Heads up of what you need to look out for. Keep in mind this is a general reading, not a personal reading, so don't force anything to fit. This is meant to just get an idea of some things that could occur so you can at least be ahead of the curve. So we are going to jump right in and just see what's happening for Gemini during this retrograde. And let's just get some main theme messages. What is in store for the Gemini collective for this retrograde spirit? Asking for insight and just clarity on some things that could occur during this Mercury retrograde for Gemini. All right, so we have strife. We have children, we have home. So, some of you could be getting a new home, new place, new apartment, new living situation, getting new items, new car, new furniture, just something new. So that could be something that manifests during retrograde. You also have children. So some of you could find out that you're pregnant. Some of you, could be having a new beginning because that's kind of inner child type of stuff. But you could also be dealing with inner child issues, or there could be immature energy that's in your retrograde energy. You also do have strife here, which is arguments, sudden endings, third party meddling, manipulation, gaslighting. And that is literally just prime Mercury retrograde bullshit. So you are being told, to be mindful of this is something that could come up during this Mercury retrograde. Let's pull a couple cards from a different deck as well, Spirit. More messages of the theme of retrograde for the Gemini collective. What they need to look out for and be aware of, and just things that could come up. So you have seek someone to perform or do a hex-breaking ritual. You also have pyrite. So some of you may be dealing with something where you feel like, there is some strong negative energy around you. And so you may need to perform a hex-breaking ritual, or even, a protection return to sender, or just something to clear your energy, especially with strife here. Also immaturity and some inner child wounds. So that is a strong message that came out that you should be mindful of. So do your cleansing work. If you already know how to do your own, hex breaking, things like that, do it yourself. But if it's something that you've been feeling, or if that you start to feel that, hold on, I want to make sure you guys can see, get these things lined up. If it's something that you, start to feel like, a lot of things are happening and you're just feeling energetically blocked, it may be time to seek someone to help you with that, because it could be some negative energy. You have pyrite here, which is helps shield you from the harmful effects that technology can have on the mind and body, which is very fitting for retrograde because it's very technology focused as well as far as hiccups. So if you do have pyrite, you may want to carry that around in your purse, in your pocket. You can sleep with it in a sachet under your pillow, but that can help balance some of that energy so you can get ahead of it. So I want to jump into tarot and just see what comes out as far as obstacles. What obstacles may arise for the Gemini collective, Spirit? Looking for a heads up for obstacles that Gemini may experience during this retrograde. All right. Obstacles Gemini may experience. Obstacles Gemini may experience. Hold up, I saw something flip. See? All right. Couple more cards of clarity on obstacles, circumstances that Gemini may experience. All right, this not seven, but the Eight of Pentacles has popped out for all of you so far. I want to say, not all of you, but, I think it was Aries. I want to say Taurus also got it. But anyway, obstacles that you may face are the Two of Swords in reverse, the Eight of Cups upright. You have the King of Wands upright, the King of Pentacles in reverse, and you also have the Eight of Pentacles upright. So there could be you moving away from a certain energy. So something may happen, pop off, that, you're going to have to decide, or you're going to feel you need to move away from it. So starting with the Ace of Swords here, which is in reverse, that's air energy, which is Gemini energy. I want to say strong Libra. So this could revolve around a Libra, but, you're going to be feeling confused about a situation, confused about a decision that needs to be made. You may have already been in this state, or it may be something that comes up that you're going to feel like, there's a decision that needs to be made, but you don't want to make it. Maybe, your judgment has been clouded, that, this is another conflict card, frustration, chaos, destructive, and you do have that strife card that came out for overall energy. So if it's something that's hasn't happened yet, expect that something's going to pop up, but it could be something that's already happening, and Mercury retrograde is going to just highlight it and magnify it and just make whatever it is more intense. You have the King of Wands here upright, which is fire energy. I want to say Leo heavy, but with the King of Pentacles in reverse popping up right after that, I feel like, this involves someone who embodies that type of energy. So could be a Leo or a fire sign, could be an earth sign, but you've got someone that you're in a state of conflict with. And the King of Pentacles, he's a fucking nightmare. He or she, remember, it can be gender neutral. It's just a man on the card. But, an obstacle coming up could be, you having to make a decision to stop working on a relationship, a situation, something that has to do with someone who embodies this King of Pentacles energy, which could be someone who's like very successful, but could be highly manipulative with their success. Someone who may be a love bomber, someone who uses, their wealth as a form of manipulation, someone who may be focused more on wealth than even, your situation, your family, your feelings. The King of Pentacles in reverse can typically be someone who's a workaholic, someone who really puts that to the forefront in a toxic way and just overshadows everything else. It can also symbolize someone being selfish with resources, or someone just using resources as a means to keep you stuck, especially with this Two of Swords here in reverse. So an obstacle with this type of energy may arise, and you may be walking away from it here with this Eight of Cups here, which is water energy. I want to say Pisces. It's you being disappointed in something and possibly making a difficult choice. With these confirm each other because they're both choice cards, making a difficult choice. And what could come up is you moving on from this, or you needing to really, focus on what is being shown to you, what you're putting in work with, that's just not really producing the wealth, the emotion, and wealth is not always material. Wealth is spiritual abundance, spiritual balance, mental balance, things like that. So, with this being an obstacle coming up, it may be something that shines a big light on just a confusing situation, clouded judgment, something you've been trying to ignore and maybe not notice, but it's sweeping under the rug. You're still trying to work hard on it because that's what the Eight of Pentacles symbolizes, but there's going to be something that you may stop putting so much work into and make a decision to just walk away from it because it's just not giving you what you need. You feel manipulated. You feel possibly gaslighted too, and that actually solidifies the strife card too, because manipulation and gaslighting is on here, and that can be a prime attribute of someone who has King of Pentacles in reverse energy. Because like I said, it's someone who definitely, maybe they're a breadwinner, or, the prime breadwinner in a house. And, they use that wealth as a form of manipulation or a form of control, or, a reason to think they can do certain things and get away with certain things because of that. And they use it as a reason to neglect other things that do need attention. Hence, family, people's feelings, things like that. So that is what I have for that as far as you being aware of obstacles that may arise. Now, advice from Spirit on how to handle the obstacles. What advice does Spirit have on how Gemini should handle these obstacles? How should Gemini handle these obstacles? All right, I'm going to take those. I think I need another one. All right, one more, Spirit. How should Gemini handle the obstacles? They all came in reverse too. So you have the Two of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Justice, and the Seven of Wands all in reverse. And this came as advice on how to handle the obstacles. Now, Two of Pentacles in reverse, that's Earth energy, Capricorn, but it's you feeling like you're juggling too much. It's you feeling overwhelmed with what's on your plate, overwhelmed with decisions that you have to make, maybe feeling very imbalanced, maybe not really being able to, balance the things that you have going on because you are just very consumed with other things. So you have the Hermit here also which is, I want to say Earth energy, Virgo, but it's you maybe needing to, isolate, or you needing to be mindful of, how do I word it? So the Hermit is typically, it's introspection, it's, going within for it. But what this energy could create is you possibly just like isolating yourself, feeling really disconnected, and, just kind of wallowing in a pity party. And as far as that being advice, it's you need to be mindful that you're not doing things from a place of pity. You're not, disconnected from your inner self, but you're more so looking towards inner guidance to help solve this situation. Now, with the Justice here in reverse, also, it's, you not being fair to yourself. This circumstance could have been, a situation where you feel like you're treated constantly unfair. Things are imbalanced. There could have been a lot of revenge going on, vindictive type of behavior. And Spirit is saying, like, to make sure that you're not thinking of things from that place. Or if that is what's been going on, Spirit is urging you to rebalance those scales and just look at it from a different view. Make sure you're not meeting this energy of, whatever this King of Pentacles thing is that you may be moving away from it. Make sure you're not meeting it from a place of, dishonesty, or a place of lacking accountability, or even a place of revenge. So, Spirit doesn't want that. That's not going to be the best way to handle it. It's going to create more conflict for you. So your advice is to just make sure you're not in that energy, that you're, seeking revenge, isolating, maybe giving silent treatments, which, that's kind of toxic too, because it's just you holding in so much that is just creating a war inside of you. You have the Seven of Wands here. That's also in reverse, which fire energy, want to say Leo heavy. So you have this King of Wands here, Leo, and you have this as well. But, that's you maybe feeling defeated, feeling attacked, and trying to, avoid conflict, being worn down. So Spirit is, urging you to not put yourself in a place where, you've stood your ground, for so long, but it's easy to also be manipulated to the point where you just feel completely depleted. Like, constant conflict. You're being overly defensive, excuse me, tit for tat, which that goes hand in hand with the justice. But your advice is to make sure that you're not being, gaslighted, blamed, put in a place where, it's to the point where you have fought such a long battle that now you just feel depleted. Like this person is running circles around you. They've got you overly defensive. You feel drained. You feel like there's just no more fight in you. With this being advice, though, it's you avoiding that conflict, you avoiding feeding that negative energy. It's you avoiding putting more gas on that fire and giving more of your power to it. So that is your advice for that portion. Now, what should Gemini be focused on for this retrograde? What are things that Gemini should be focused on during this retrograde? What should Gemini focus on during this retrograde? Spirit, what should Gemini focus on during this retrograde? Whoa. 2 more cards. What should Gemini focus on? What should Gemini focus on? All right. So we have the 7 of Cups in reverse, then the Knight of Pentacles, then the 4 of Wands, and then the 5 of Cups in reverse. So what Spirit is urging you to focus on, starting with the 7 of Cups in reverse, it's you feeling like, you're overwhelmed with the amount of choices that you have to make. Spirit is asking you to focus on being able to make a decisive choice and not make it based off of illusions. And, sometimes that can mean making a decision based off of the potential of something that could be versus the reality of what you are being shown that it is. The 7 of Cups in reverse is breaking through those illusions. It's you making a very decisive decision based off of the literal things you are being shown, based off of the facts, not opinions, things like that. You have the Knight of Pentacles here also, which is Earth energy, Virgo, but that calls for you to focus on your own structure, focus on being productive, being disciplined. Maybe you have something in the work, or it's you just pouring more of your energy into work, and your own long-term abundance, just investing in you and just being disciplined and responsible and just making choices that lead you more to a stable future, or just more of a stable energy while you navigate Mercury retrograde. You also have the 4 of Wands here. So that's a harmony card. I want to say fire, Aries energy specifically, but it's focusing on your growth, your fulfillment, focusing on achievement, focusing on trying to have a more balanced, relationship, if this does revolve around a relationship. Because, even though something may come up that, is unideal, strife, arguments, you're making heavy decisions as to whether you should move away from it. It's manipulation, things like that, it might be something that you don't need to move away from, because you remember you also have all of these in reverse as far as advice. And some of the ways that, you might feel compelled to handle it are just ways that don't really serve the purpose of unity. So it's making sure you're staying away from isolation, not withdrawing yourself, silent treatment, revenge, not really looking at things from a higher perspective, dishonesty, feeling attacked, worn down, very defensive. And in order for you to really not be overwhelmed in the negativity of that, Spirit's urging you, especially with this 4 of Wands, to just maybe focus on trying to be a little more harmonious, making sure like you are hearing your partner and not just, hearing to react versus, listening to actually understand them. You also have the 5 of Cups here, which is in reverse, and that's you moving away from, sadness, grief, maybe you moving away from deep-rooted feelings, or, things that have just been putting you in a state of just, regret, sadness, emotional imbalance, things like that. So if this is a situation that has already currently had you like that, or, in a constant state of that, what Spirit is urging you to focus on is possibly moving away from that. Another way this can be read is, you making a decision that this is no longer for you, focusing on your own stability, your own projects, taking action on your own goals, for you to lead you towards more harmony and just growth and satisfaction within self, getting you out of this grieving, emotionally heavy energy. So that is what I have for that. Now I want to just get overall advice from Spirit. What advice do you have for the Gemini collective during this time of retrograde? Just advice you have that you want the Gemini collective to know and just to be mindful of. All right, taking three more from the top. So we have the Five of Swords in reverse. We have the Eight of Wands in reverse. We have the Eight of Swords upright. And we also have the Four of Pentacles. So advice from Spirit is you being aware of combative energy. You did get strife up here, but with it being in reverse, that's you walking away from that. You letting go of just grudges, releasing conflicts, some of those heavy energies, you possibly having a need to forgive and forget, you making amends with people, or you even cutting your losses, because sometimes that's what it is. And even if it's something that does end or has already ended, you could be dealing with the residual strife of that energy. And, there's a need to forgive yourself, forgive them, so it's not weighing you down and creating blockages. With the Eight of Wands here in reverse, it's fire energy, Sagittarius, but it's, lacking clear vision, maybe feeling distracted, obstacles, things like that, which solidify, what I was saying with the Five of Wands, especially with the Eight of Swords over here, which is, feeling trapped and restricted and kind of self-sabotaging, being in your head, victim mentality, things like that. And with the Four of Pentacles here, this whole part, I get this totally. Four of Pentacles being here, it's conserving resources, it's frugality, it's holding on to things very tightly, and some of this especially could be creating blockages in your energy, and it's something that you need to move away from and just be mindful of, because holding heavy resentment, holding a lot of things in, it does create stagnation, and it can create you self-sabotaging, because it's manifesting more negativity into your life. So with that being advice, Spirit is saying just make sure you are not harboring energy and too many ill feelings to the point where it is blocking you from even being able to move forward and just not feel so restricted even in your own mental space. So that is what I have for the spread. I do want to get an Akashic record card for you guys just to see what advice you guys have from higher self. So Spirit, give me an Akashic record card for Gemini. What Akashic messages do you have for them from their higher perspective, past life, just whatever comes out, whatever you think it is they need to see? So you have jump in, and you also have forgiveness. See, and that solidifies what I just said over here. So jump in is you're being asked to take a chance and give whatever you're questioning a try. The stars will never all align in just the right way. Sometimes you have to take that leap anyway. This is that time. Then you also have forgiveness. Withholding forgiveness only hurts and prolongs the pain. It's time to forgive someone, and maybe even yourself, so you can stay on the path of your highest potential. So like I said, if this is a relationship where you know, you're not going to leave, but you guys have been facing some conflict. It may be time for you to just like look at some things from a different perspective and how you can navigate it in a better way to produce a better result and just not be standing in so much resentment. If it is a situation where, you know, you're going to leave it, something comes up and that it's an imminent ending is on the horizon, it's you needing to forgive yourself so you're not harboring so many negative emotions that it's blocking you energetically for abundance to come in, new love to come in, new opportunities to come in. You know, it's you making sure your psyche is balanced. It's also the new moon today. So, you know, if you are dealing with a situation of sorts, it may be time to manifest some of those things, affirm some of the things you want to come into your life, focus on some of the positives rather than the negative things that you may have been feeling already. So that is what I have for you, Gemini. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know if things resonated in the comments. Also, make sure you like the video so you know, your energy can be in my collective, and, you know, I receive messages from the divine, you know, pertaining to your situations. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future readings. But thank you, Gemini, and good luck on this retrograde.